Okay, gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Tanek127, and welcome back to another video. And before we get into today's video, guys, I do have to give this big fat disclaimer. Despite this not being the typical review for the game that I originally wanted to do, but this more so being a discussion. But my review copy of this game was provided by Square Enix. But however, I'm allowed to say whatever I want about this game. There is no contract that locks me in, to saying, oh, this game's good. You have to say good things about it. If I want to make one live stream just crapping on this game for 4 hours straight, I'm allowed to do that. All right, there's no kind of crazy agreement about that or anything with my review key for this game. So I do want to make that absolutely clear before we go into today's video. And any content creator that normally gets a review key for a game, they can also, vouch for that. So if any content creators happen to watch this video, please feel free, to let that be known down in the comments below. But what I wanted to talk to you guys today, and the reason I'm titling this video "The Truth About Babylon's Fall," is because that's what I want to do. I want to talk about the truth about this game, what happened, and why I don't think, it's such a bad game. And honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing more of it, what the future holds. And I really hope that Platinum and Square Enix, don't get discouraged by the mediocre launch it's had, and end up shutting the game down eventually or something, because that's going to suck. And even in the Discord where there's a lot of people that love it, there's a lot of passionate people out there about this game. I'm not the only one, but a majority rules right now, and this game's back is kind of against the wall. There's a lot of people out there who got a bad taste in their mouth for this game, and I'm not stupid. All right, I know why, and a lot of your concerns are justified. I'm not here to tell you, you're wrong, but I'm here to tell you that the game's not as bad as you're thinking. That's what I'm trying to do. So how this all started was there was a trailer release for this game a couple years ago. I want to say 2019, 2020, maybe, when the first Babylon's Fall trailer came out. It was just shown as another dope action game, and Platinum Games in collaboration with Square Enix. And y'all know Platinum Games, they make amazing action games. They're great at hack and slash combat. They've done stuff with the Nier series. They've done Bayonetta. They did Astral Chain on the Switch. These guys know hack and slash and good combat. And this game has phenomenal combat. Anybody who's put their hands on it, hell, even if they played the demo and hate it, they can even tell you that this game has phenomenal combat. That's no secret. Platinum made this. You shouldn't even have to ask that question. But the trailer made it look, a bit more like, a single player action game, or a single player kind of like, just a crazy Devil May Cry stylish looking thing. Even though, it did show some other characters and stuff like that at the end. It did give a hint that there would be some type of multiplayer or multi-class element to this game. The trailer, it just didn't show much. And then later on, when more of the game was revealed, you got to see the actual gameplay in action. You got to see the multiplayer gameplay. And then that favorite lovely little term that everyone enjoys, live service, was added to the mix. People heard live service. They heard battle pass. They heard retail pricing. And immediately what people started thinking was Fortnite, incomplete game, vanilla Destiny 1, launching with little content and vague promises of content that'll probably never release, like Anthem. And trust me, I get it. Every single one of those concerns are valid. I can't be mad at you for that, because let's face it, a lot of live service games are not good at proving themselves, and they've done terrible jobs. We have nothing but bad examples. So naturally, when you hear the word live service, it puts a sour taste in your mouth. That's all right, and I can't be mad at anyone about that. But Babylon's Fall is the one game that actually launched and did it right. Now, say what you want about the $60 price tag. I'm personally not going to try and judge on whether or not that should be there. The only thing I'm going to say is, yes, it very well could be a free-to-play game. But one thing that scares me when games are free-to-play at times is developers always try to put some type of temptation in the game to make players spend money, and that temptation is things that are that are pay to win or can be pay to win, pay to progress, whatever type of label you want to put on that. It's all the same thing. And I noticed that it happens a lot more with free to play games than with retail games. So say what you will about the price tag. I think that's an up and down thing. Some people think it should be there. Some people think it doesn't. Seeing this on PlayStation Plus, or even if it comes to Xbox Game Pass one day would be cool, because it would bring in a whole new influx of players. But like I was trying to say before, Babylon's Fall is the one game that did it right. Not only have the developers already released a roadmap for their whole first season, but the game comes action-packed, full of content. There's a full-on, complete story here that is built to keep expanding, and it does have a healthy ending, a final level, a final boss, and not to mention there's plenty of endgame dungeons. And I mean plenty. I'm not going to just say it to you. I'm going to show screenshots. I'm not going to just tell you that it's there. No. You're going to see it. Every single one of these, these silver-colored looking diamond things you see in these screenshots I'm putting right here, that's an endgame dungeon in this game. They have two different types. There are sieges and skirmishes, which are sieges are basically a defense type mission, and skirmishes are basically just a full-on dungeon run. You run through, kill the ads, go through a bunch of mobs, get to the end boss, kill him, get the loot, rinse and repeat. Similar to the skirmishes, kind of work the same thing, except you're fighting waves of enemies or defending some type of objective and stuff like that. And even this coming Monday, or by the time you guys see this video, we have a new type of endgame content coming out called Duels, aka Trials. It's just like big single hardcore boss fights with a lot of mechanics and things like that. But yeah, my point is the games come jam-packed with a lot of content. So a lack of content something you don't have to worry about. The servers, seem to run pretty great. The game does have a solid story. Now, it's not, a giant hardcore Final Fantasy-like story, but it is a pretty decent storyline. And I think a lot of people will say it's definitely decent for a looter game, because, looter games tend to focus more on the combat, the mechanics of their instances and stuff like that, and the loot, rather than, the story. The stories are usually a cheap thing that they put together just to give you an excuse to run more content. But this one, actually has some meaning behind it, some backbone, and I thought that was a pretty cool thing. A lot of the enemies tie into it and stuff like that. There's a lot of lore behind the different races of characters and all those things. And they also not only do they show that in game, but they also show that in their forums, on their game's website as well. And I think that is a pretty cool thing, and I think that's something a lot of these looter live service style games are missing. Now, is Babylon's Fall perfect? No. Is it the big Destiny killer and all this stuff? Probably not. But who knows where the game's going to go in the future. And like I said, they've got a nice fat roadmap promised full of content, more story missions, more endgame missions, more gear, more quests. Hell, there's even a collaboration with Nier Automata, where you can get 2B's outfit, work with 2B, and fight some bosses and dungeons inspired by the Nier games, which I think also is another pretty cool thing. But I'm just saying, guys, this game has a lot going for it, and like I said, it's not perfect. There are some silly mistakes that the developers have made. I'll give Platinum just a little bit of leeway, because I don't see them making multiplayer games very often. But like the game's grouping system, playing with your friends, it can be a little bit complex and a headache. I do think it needs some improvements in that area. Some of the animations and stuff like that during some of the cutscenes, they could use some improvements. But besides some little minor bug issue things that they can definitely fix, because it's a live service game, so it's always technically going to be in development. I really don't have too many complaints. Now, granted, a disclaimer I'll give you guys is I'm personally an MMO and multiplayer action RPG lover. So this game is right up my alley. But also, this game can be played solo. You don't have to play it with friends. Now, to get the right kind of experience out of this game, I would recommend playing this with a group of friends, but it does have the option to play it solo. And like you guys saw in the original trailer, it's the exact same game you guys saw in that trailer with that exact same flashy, fun combat. And it does have some really cool mechanics to it. And the thing that makes me mad the most about this game is Platinum and Square, they did make one silly mistake. There's a free-to-play demo for this game on the PlayStation Store, and it's going to be coming out on Steam sometime later this month. However, this demo is so limited. Like, for example, there's parts of the combat that end up expanding later on in the story. There's parts of your gear, your character's growth, and everything. And you don't experience none of that in the demo. You get to do a few missions, see what it's like to level up your character's gear a bit, and, you know, see a few cutscenes, and that's about it. Granted, you get to do a really cool boss fight, but I'm just saying the demo itself makes the game look extremely shallow. Like, there's not much depth to it. And like I said, the sad part is a lot of that depth, a lot of the extra stuff that comes with the combat and mechanics of the game, it all unlocks through the story. Like, there's new mechanics with your class, there's special abilities that your faction gets and all kinds of stuff. And you can't even touch that stuff in the demo. Which, is just kind of a wild and crazy thing. And because the game doesn't do such a great job of teaching you this, when people play the game for just a few hours and they get their first impressions, they don't know any of that exists because the tutorials for the game aren't too great either. Now, is the developer and publisher technically to blame for that? Yes, because, they should have added those things in there, and if people were informed, they would know that these things exist, and their opinions probably wouldn't be as harsh. But at the same time, I just wanted to make this video to take the time to let you know that the game has a lot more to offer if you're actually willing to give it the time and take a good look. But anyway, guys, let me know how you are feeling about Babylon's Fall. Have you read some of the criticism out there? Have you decided to check the game out for yourself? Feel free to be honest down in the comments. If this video made you upset and you just still don't disagree with me, that's fine. You're allowed to hit the dislike button. We're all gamers here. We can communicate. That's what the comments section's for, and that's what the ratings are for. Hope y'all enjoyed today's video. If you did, give me a like. If you want more Babylon's Fall content and you're new here, feel free to subscribe. I will see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.